Yeah, rise and shine. Good morning. It is Monday. It is October the 31st. It is Halloween and it is spooky outside, at least in parts of Central Florida. Rise and shine. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather, hopefully get your day started off on the right note, hopefully get you updated in the world of weather, and maybe a smile on your face. I don't know. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter. And if you miss the live broadcast, we are available on every podcast platform that I could think of. So really only three. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and the iHeart app. At any rate, you can get to us, even if you miss us live. We love hanging out with you. Top two things that we are monitoring today. First off, this is Halloween. This is Halloween. Halloween. Yeah, we've got the trick-or-treat forecast for you. Plus, what's this? What's this? Something in the area. What's this? Something in the tropics? Yeah, okay, enough joking, right? Yeah, there's something that is brewing. Hurricane hunters are out investigating right now. Could have a new tropical system forming. We do not have one yet. We're going to discuss my least favorite tropical terminology, the potential tropical cyclone. What? Anyway, let's look outside and see what's doing live. Oh, come on. Be still, my heart. The sun coming up over Lake County, Lake Dora. Oh, man, it is gorgeous at 8:01 on a Monday morning. How are you? Rise and shine. Connie, John, I see Frank, Jennifer, Kenneth, Chris, Tara, Tammy, good morning. The other Franks in the room, Marie, Susan, good morning. Nikki. Happy Halloween. Hope you're having a great start to the day. Look at that sunrise. That is like a promo shot. Seriously, that's stunning. Temperatures out the door in the 8 o'clock hour, sitting in the 60s and 70s, getting new data live updating as we speak. 71 degrees in Sanford. It's 71 in the city. We are at about 70 degrees in Melbourne. We looked to first warning live Doppler radar. It is not perfectly clear. There are a few showers off the shoreline. Kind of move out and you can see it there. Now, that said, if you live or work along the Space Coast, it is pouring right now from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station up to the Kennedy Space Center. There's 39A and B, and that downpour is just kind of working right up the shore, which is interesting because we were originally scheduled to have a rocket launch this morning. And if that was to be the case, weather may have been a little questionable. So, interesting how that plays out, isn't it? Isn't it? Let's see. Is our Kennedy Space Center tower cam working? Let me go back over and just look. Yeah, I mean, there's the downpour on our tower cam. This is looking over. If you think about it, this is from the NBC West 2 building that we have there, and it's looking from 39A over to the Cape side. So that's the downpour that we're seeing there. Elsewhere, I want to point out, popping back up on our live radar, elsewhere, the showers that we're tracking, not really as much of a concern. Though down here around Grant, Valkyria, and Miko, a little bit of light rainfall there. Some of these showers off the shoreline, maybe trying to sneak in. But this is definitely the big game in town, that nice downpour action, just kind of working up through the Kennedy Space Center. So if you work out there, don't be surprised if there's a little pouring rain. Just a little bit. Not too bad, though. All right, forecast for us as we look ahead. Wait a minute. This one's not themed. Let me find something that's a little spookier. Here. This one will do the number. All right, forecast for us on Halloween Day. You see what I did there? On Halloween Day, we've got a few showers in the forecast. Overall, it's a 10% coverage. It's not too bad. Mix of clouds and sunshine today, my friends. High temperatures working to 85 by 1 o'clock. 88 degrees by 3 o'clock, and notice around sunset, lower 80s, getting into the upper 70s. It's going to be a mild one this year. We were tracking a cold front on the BSR, and it was there. It showed up. It just didn't show up moving all the way into our area. Hate it when that happens. Oh, well. So, 12-hour forecast looking fantastic, my friends. Really and truly a lovely, lovely setup. Now, for those that are curious about trick-or-treating, and I know most of us are, After all, this is Halloween. This is Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Anyway, an isolated shower. Little by little, those temperatures are going to be dropping, but it is going to be a nice, mildish forecast. So, reminiscent of the Arthur Fonzarelli Burris costume so many years ago. Wearing my leather jacket, sweating. Oh, well. Sometimes you're the squirrel, sometimes you're the nut, right? Sometimes you're the bird, sometimes you're the statue. What's Little E going to be for Halloween? He has assigned Star Wars theme this year, so I will be Darth Vader, complete with my... It's somewhere here. Complete with my Darth Vader mask with a voice changer. But you know what's funny? The voice changer doesn't sound like James Earl Jones. It sounds like Dateline NBC changing your voice for the purposes of anonymity, you know? So it's like, talk to me. And I'm like, I have your son. You know, it's just like, he was walking in the store. You know, it's like that weird one. So anyway. Kenneth, why am I repeating Halloween? It's the song from The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a play on that. So there's, for example, the top two, as I showed earlier. This is Halloween. That's a song. And then there's another song from The Nightmare Before Christmas. What's this? What's this? There's something in the air. What's this? There's something. So listen. If nothing else, listen to the soundtrack to that, and at least you'll understand my. It wasn't that funny, Kenneth. It wasn't that funny. And now I just feel silly. Mickey, good morning to you. How are ya? Good morning. Rise and shine. So we've got a little bit of morning fog. We'll have a few showers here or there, but all said and done, today is looking great. Taylor says, I have Nightmare Before Christmas on currently. Oh, I'll be jamming to it. I'll certainly be jamming to it. Yeah. So it looks pretty good, you ask me. All right. Dense fog advisory in effect, though. Do want to mention, not for most of Central Florida, but for the I-75 corridor from Marion County north. And that's where the spooky is. My brother says, and I quote, "We are used to you not being that funny." Well, who's the joke on? You or me? I'm the one that's not funny. You're the one that's choosing to hang out with the not funny guy. Aha! See that? I love that movie, Linda says. Can I tell you something? I have never seen that movie. What? I've loved the music for forever. Never watched the movie. I probably should. The music, I mean, I'm a Tim Burton fan. I'm a Danny Elfman fanboy. Yeah. So anyway, I'll have to listen to it. If you have Disney Plus, you can watch The Nightmare Before Christmas there. Yes. The kids have. I haven't. So for morning travel plans, we've got that downpour over around the Kennedy Space Center. We've got some fog across the I-75 corridor, but the rest of town is actually looking pretty okay. So good stuff there. Love that. When will they be showing the Halloween costumes that were sent in? Are you talking about something with Wesh? They may be doing something that I have no idea about. I don't know. Michael's asking, are there no more hurricanes? All right, are we going to do this? Are we going to do this right now? All right, let's talk about the tropics. It's not a hurricane. It is what's referred to as a potential tropical cyclone. Well, what in the deuce is that? It is my least favorite identification. It's an invest. But what happens is, at some point or another, the Hurricane Center determines this is going to develop and it's going to impact people. So we need to be able to warn them. So they switch it from an invest to a potential tropical cyclone. I like to refer to it as a potential tropical system because it's nothing. It's not even a tropical depression yet, okay? But it allows the National Hurricane Center to issue watches and warnings, to issue a forecast cone, and all of the like. So first off, still has development chances, okay? There is a 90% chance this develops in the next 2 days' time. There is a reconnaissance mission in right now, and they're going to be looking for circulation, etc., etc., etc. When it comes to the storm system, though, I'm happy to say it is not of a threat to us. However, down around Central America, Mexico, Belize may have a tropical storm or a hurricane moving that direction. Wednesday into Thursday is going to be the timeline for landfall here. Ashlyn says, I never thought I would hear you call yourself a fanboy. When it comes to Danny Elfman, when it comes to Alan Silvestri, when it comes to James Horner, when it comes to John Williams, yeah, Thomas Newman, here we are. Shannon says, what? Time to end coffee talk. Eric, go watch Nightmare Before Christmas now. I probably should. But the music is incredible. Right, Nikki? Yeah. Muy buenos dias. Beverly, good morning to you. How are ya? Crystal says, no hurricane chat. Let me pretend we're actually up north this Halloween. This is Florida Halloween. This is Florida Halloween. Halloween. Tropical systems. At least there's nothing coming to us, right? At least this is not a thing for us. So for our friends down south, that's something that we'll have to watch there. The rest of the tropics are actually nice and quiet for now. Give me 2 seconds. I did not get this dialed up today. Stand by. Tropics. I'm going to dial up the models so that we can look and just kind of see what's doing. All right. Here is the latest, the 6Z run of the GFS. A reminder, the GFS is getting that big upgrade in just a couple of days' time. So this is one of the last runs of the old model. Sweet. Hopefully the new model is better. All right. I will explain it for those of you listening in podcast mode or in listening mode only. All right. So here we are down in the Caribbean. There is PTC, or Potential Tropical Cyclone 15. Again, not a threat to us. It's expected to kind of strengthen and then weaken as it makes its way ashore in Central America around Thursday, Friday. All right. Then we start to watch pressures lowering around the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Not really much, but that's around the 6th, 7th, and 8th. And you notice the GFS is kind of doing this weird thing, all right, around the 8th, 9th, 10th, around Florida. Not really anything cohesive there, but there's a blob of low pressure. Now, let's look one model run back. That's 234 hours out. That is Thursday, November 10th. So we're 10 days out. It's not the end of the model run, but it's something to watch. Let's go one model run back. Okay, there's still low pressure over Florida. 2 model runs back. Okay, still low pressure. 3 model runs back. Not really over Florida. 4 model runs back. A mess. So the GFS is trying to key in on something Wednesday, Thursday, November 9th, November 10th. What? You don't know. It will be interesting to look at how the European initializes this, right? That's where, to me, we will get at least a little bit of a better idea, right? All right, let's continue. That, by the way, if you follow along, that would be an indicator if that does play out in our 2023 hurricane season forecast. All right, that moves out. And then another area of low pressure on the far right side of your screen. You see it there? That like purple dot. So the GFS is doing what the GFS loves to do, which is be crazy. All right, let's look at the European. There's potential tropical cyclone 15 making its way ashore. Interesting. The European is picking up on something as well, y'all. Around the 8th, 9th, 10th, around South Florida. Okay. Listen. That would be interesting. That would be about 40. So we're, full disclosure here. If you follow along with us doing our hurricane season forecast, There's a working theory that we're kind of starting to work through behind the scenes, and I'm not going to share it with you because this is brand new, kind of just we're discussing it. But that would make sense based on the new theory and the timeline. All I'll say about it. So, yeah, around the 10th through about the 15th, may have some low pressure get kind of picked up along a front, but that'll be interesting to see. Now we'll have to look at the ensembles too. Yeah. Taylor, what does this mean for hurricane season next year? It means right now it's something I'm watching. At this point, that's all it is. It's something I'm watching. Outside of that, we'll remember our hurricane season forecast is released March 1st, which I know it seems like that's a long ways away, but holy cannoli, do I have some work ahead of me. Holy cannoli. This is the busy time of year for me. So that, both the European and the GFS are picking up on it. And then European kind of trying to do a little something in the Caribbean here around November 15th. So interesting. All right, on to the ensembles. What's an ensemble? Think of an ensemble as 51 flavors of each model. It takes the same model and it just runs it over and over and over different ways, okay? So you get the operational to run and then you end up with the ensembles. So, for example, this is just a look at the ensemble now. You've got a bunch of members initializing down in the Caribbean for potential tropical cyclone. Right? Saturday the 5th, 6th, 7th. Starting to see some ensemble members coming alive. The 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. You see that? Ensemble members are coming alive. Now, most of them are kind of wanting to bubble it up and recurve it out. But ensemble members are indicating to me, let's just go to the more like loosey-goosey. Yeah, ensemble members coming alive with little lows, 7th, 8th, 9th, around the Caribbean islands / Florida. Now, this is the GFS ensemble. Let's do this. Let's switch back over to the European ensemble. All right. Obviously, there's all the members initializing potential tropical system 15. Timestamps on the top right of your screen. I'll bring it full for you. This is the European ensembles. Notice ensemble members around the 7th, 8th, and 9th are trying to show something. Now, if you look very closely, what we're not seeing is very low pressures, 1,005, 1,000, 996, 1,005, 1,004, 1,004, 1,002, 1,003, 1,003, 1,005, 1,004, 1,003, 1,004. So, it's trying to bubble up something of an area of low pressure, but it's not trying to go bonkers. Now, water temperatures down there are warm enough that we could still develop tropical stuff, right? So, interesting. It's interesting. If nothing else, the ensembles are saying, friends, keep our eyes open these next couple of days, because just as we head into the month of November, we are still in hurricane season. So do not forget. Do not forget. All right. Let me talk 7-day forecast, and then I will get to questions. All right. 88 today. Holy cannoli, it's going to be warm. Average high 81. So we are well above the average. 89 tomorrow. Disgusting. We need a cold front in the worst way. 87 on Wednesday. At least by late week, winds shift around and we're able to drop those temperatures a little bit. But we're looking pretty nice. Have we entered into the dry season? It sure looks that way. I'll have to get somebody from the Weather Service to join us on Coffee Talk to discuss that. All right? All right, question. Oh, and by the way, did you notice Saturday into Sunday? Do you see that? We spring forward, we fall back. This weekend. Yep. The time change. The time change. Can you believe it? We're there. All right. Questions, comments, concerns. What are the chances to get a hurricane outside of hurricane season? Michael asks. We've had tropical systems every month of the year, so it's there, yeah. Let's see here. It's been flooding in Puerto Rico. No more rain for sure. Erica's asking, why is Palm Bay not getting any rain south of Melbourne? It's just a fluke thing. It's not. There's not like a reason for it. It's just what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's just a fluke thing. Brian, question. Just curious, can the model see anything past hurricane season's end into like December? Just curious to see if anything's going to brew up because of how early the storms got started this year. They didn't get started early. I mean, this year, when was the first storm? This year was not. Stand by. Stand by. Yeah. The first storm formed in June. Alex formed June 5th. So it didn't start early. But the models, we have techniques that we use, but nothing goes out that far really at this point. Yeah. What are the water temps? I'm sure high 80s. Yeah, they're still mid to upper 80s down that way for sure. Halfway through the new recycle scenario, we are watching and logging and taking notes, my friends. Oh, yeah. Carla, do I still have Stella? Oh, yeah. Stella's just sleeping in the other room. I'm not ready for the dry season. Listen, at least we're heading into the dry season in a pretty decent spot. When we look to the Keach-Byram Drought Index, this is kind of a gauge of soil moisture, et cetera, et cetera. You can see all of our areas are on the damper side of things. You start to get into issues when you get into those oranges and reds. And so at least in our area, we are doing just fine in that. And by the way, even though we are nice and dry, the fire danger index is also running pretty okay. So there's that. You guys have some coffee coming today from Tennessee. What does that even mean, Thomas? Here visiting from Virginia, Catherine says, too muggy. I'm sorry, Catherine. Florida this time of year, we can have the best weather in the world, or we can have some of the muggiest weather in the world. And unfortunately, you're kind of getting in on some of the muggier stuff. Catherine says, Palm Bay is soaked. We don't need any more rain. Boo on the time change. Legislators in D.C. need to okay the law. Yeah, it would be nice if we could all get on the same page. Over on YouTube, a question. What is the weather for the launch tomorrow? Good question. Good question. I'm going to be selfish and tell you, I want the launch on Wednesday. Like, if I had a direct link for Elon, I'd be like, buddy, please give me one more day. Because I'm hanging with Al Roker tomorrow, and that's going to be incredible. I want to have my cake and eat it too. But the TFRs went up. They're planning for a launch tomorrow. 9:40 in the morning. Super cool stuff, people. 90% chance of good weather. But Elon, for my own selfish reasons, can we push one day? Can we just push it by one day? One day? Please? Yeah, the weather forecast is looking great for the launch. And a reminder, you've got return to landing site. You've got your 3 brand new cores, 2 of them coming back to Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, Landing Zone 1 and Landing Zone 2. The other being expended because of the orbit that the United States Space Force is working to achieve. So that's cool. Who is or was Keach-Byram? Jeannie, I have no idea. It's a formula. Let's look. All right. The Keach-Byram Drought Index, created by John Keach and George Byram in 1968 for the Department of Agriculture, is a measure of drought conditions. It is commonly used for the purpose of predicting the likelihood of severity of wildfire. It's calculated based on rainfall, air temperature, and other meteorological conditions. So it's John Keach and George Byram. That's kind of fun. We need another cool front. Oh, yeah. What are they upgrading on the GFS to improve it? I read some of the stats the other day. It's kind of above my head. Yeah, just a little bit. What happened today, weather? looks pretty much there still. Is the weather not happening at your house? It's happening at my house. What time again with Al? So I'm going to be on Wesh to News Sunrise all morning long out at Universal hanging with Al. And then 6 a.m. we're interviewing him. 7 a.m. I've got to figure this out. I'm still going back and forth with the good folks over at NBC. And then 8 a.m. I believe I was told like 8:30 I'm going to be walking with him on the Today Show. So it's, it is what it is. Natasha, do you have any advice for me when I go through the bariatric program? Oh, I have a ton of advice. Listen, it's not cheating, which means you have to work at it. It's going to be hell. But I can tell you I'm more than a year out. I'm like a year and 3-4 months out. It's the greatest thing I've ever done for myself. It is the greatest. I am so, so grateful. But it's work. Yeah, you're going to have goods and bads. Natasha, I'm here to help any bit I can. Send me a message on Facebook and I'll do anything I can to help you. 6 a.m. I know, Annie, right? Listen, I was going to be up early for today's rocket launch, but they didn't do it. And so I'm a little grumpy because I don't get to go over there. I'm a little grumpy because I love being able to hang out with Al. But it was timed out perfectly. It was going to be rocket launch today, hang out with Al tomorrow. And now it's going to be both on the same day, and I can only do one, and I'm just being like a toddler over here. Mickey's asking, are you doing the projection on your house yet? Oh, yeah. Tonight, the house will be lit up. And then we take a bit of a sabbatical, and then it's Christmas time. And then the house's Christmas projection goes on. Yeah, absolutely. I love holding on to this pleasant, warm pool weather as long as possible. Patty, I get it. Although we haven't used the pool in forever, and so I feel, I have, but I just feel like maybe I should turn the pool heater off. Oh, well. Any questions, comments, concerns, friends? I'm going to run into the office early today because I'm out early today because I'm up early tomorrow morning hanging out with Al Roker. John says hissy fit. Oh, yeah, I'm like a toddler over here throwing a hissy fit because I want my cake and I want to eat it too. Dang it. Eric, you're sounding like a spoiled brat. I know. I'm just being honest. I mean, I'm fine. But there's a frustration level. If I can't be myself here, where can I be, right? Brian's asking, did I ever get to meet the late, great Willard Scott? I didn't. There's a list of people that have impacted you over the years, right? Like for me, Willard Scott would be one of those people. Peter Jennings would be one of those people that I never got to meet. So yeah, that's frustrating. It's not frustrating. It's just sad. I would have loved to meet a couple of those folks. But now that I work in the business, I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of wonderful, wonderful people. So, I'm trying to think. Out of all the network news anchors, I got to meet David Muir almost 20 years ago when he was covering Hurricane Francis, and I was helping him out with Francis. And at the time, he was a nobody at the network, and I was like, David, I think the world of you. I really do. And he sent me an autographed picture, which is fun. I've been friends with Lester Holt's son for forever and a day. So I've been to Lester's house in Manhattan. I don't know who's over on CBS, but I don't know that I've met them. Oh, well. Laura says Peter Jennings would have been cool. Peter Jennings, what's funny? It's that smooth, relatable delivery that Peter Jennings had that I try to embody every single day. That's just what, his delivery is what I want my delivery to be. The hissy fit is very understandable. Well, at least thank you for understanding. All right. So that's where we're at. Weather's going to be mild the next couple of days. Today, 88 degrees, our high temperature today. It's going to be a toasty one the next couple of days. Then the winds shift around just enough to give us a little bit of a relaxation, a little bit of a refresher by midweek. But a reminder, this weekend, we fall back. Brian, did you meet WESH 2 legend Dave Marsh? Oh, yeah. Yep, met Dave Marsh a few times. You know who was the greatest to meet? The late, great Marty Stebbins. You all, Marty Stebbins. That was a cool dude. And there's a whole joke about him being an astronaut. There's a joke in there. But yeah, Marty Stebbins was a good dude. Yeah, that one hit hard. Yeah. Robert says, have fun with the kids trick-or-treating tonight for sure. Jan says, loved Marty. Marty's a character, man. First time I met him, I'll share this story and then I'm going to go. It was my first year full-time at WESH. I'd been filling in at WESH for years. But it was my first year at WESH full-time. And when you start a job, it's like it takes a year to kind of get through the cycle of things, or at least it does for me. So it was Share Your Christmas Day, and that was when everything, everybody comes in and it's a thing. So it was Share Your Christmas Day, and I'm sitting in the Weather Center. We're about to do our Share Your Christmas show. And I hear Eric, and it's a voice that I recall. And I look over, and there's Marty in his Santa hat. If you know Marty's a goofball. And it's Marty in the edge of the Weather Center. And me being who I am, I'm like, hey, who let you in? Didn't they throw you out of here like 25, 30 years ago? And it was the coolest time to meet him and chat with him. And he was so wonderful. He had joked about how I was on his old shift, and it was such a neat moment. And I, and every chance I got to chat with him, I did. It was so fun. He was so much fun. Yeah. So, may he, easy on YouTube says, I used to see Marty in his red Corvette. Yeah, 100%. He loved it. He loved it. He was a good guy. So wherever you are, Marty, love you, buddy. Willard, Peter, yeah. Thank you for paving the way, gentlemen. When are you doing Coffee Talk tomorrow with Al Roker on here? I'm still working with NBC folks to figure that out. I will do what I can, but my priority is going to be obviously the walk. So we'll figure something out. All right. In the meantime, I will see you today at 3:30. That much I can promise you. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you guys at 3:30, and I'll be tweeting through the day. All right? Bye, guys.